What kink did you think you had? Until you tried it. NSFW. Getting face ducked. I can deep throat like a champ on my own. But as soon as he starts vigorously face ducking me like I always thought I'd like, it's like 3 thrusts and my gag reflex goes no. 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 Pretty much anything that I have seen in the fetish porn section. I realize that I'm actually a really vanilla guy who just enjoys watching weird crap once in a while. I had a whip fetish. I endured a whipping without a safe word and regretted it right away. Getting choked out. I'm a dude. I somehow thought that busting a nut while on the verge of passing out would lead to a military grade nut. My GF was skeptical but humored me. Long story short, getting choked out ain't it, chief? Dirty/mean talk. When I was with my ex, I wanted him to call me a slut and the like. He did. And I cried. I always thought I'd enjoy guys being more dominant and forceful until, when I was in my teens, I was sitting in an overgrown riverbank facing forward with my boyfriend sitting behind me, his legs either side of mine. Suddenly he decided to choke me from behind, without asking. And when I freaked, his excuse was that he wanted to test if I was into that kind of thing. If that hadn't happened, I might have enjoyed it in a consensual manner, but that one experience was so terrifying I'd never even be down for trying it again. I thought I was into girls that scratched you and bit you. I mean, I'm still into girls that bite, but I was dating a girl in high school, and she was big into scratching. I really should have seen the signs that she wasn't going to be gentle. She was just this cute, tiny girl. I was half a foot taller, bigger and tough. No way she could hurt me. Right. Nope. Dead wrong. I like to think I have a pretty high pain threshold, but she enjoyed hurting me. She'd scratch me up hard when we were making out. She'd get carried away, and I didn't want to seem like a wuss, so I didn't say anything about it. My back looked like I'd been attacked by a raccoon. Pegging. I thought I was super into it, and my ex loved when I played with his butt anyway, just grabbing it, nothing inside. So he bought me a strap-on. Well, I wanted to warm him up first, so I didn't tear his ass apart, but the second I spread his cheeks I got a whiff of his ass and almost vomited all over him. Shower sex. I slipped and made us both fall. The water washes out the lubricant fluids too. Isn't that nice? A lot of these horror stories could be avoided with a little bit of anal enema and a sex towel. Don't underestimate the power of a sex towel. F here. Riding my partner like a real champ. Felt amazing. I was feeling a little extra hot, and I told him to slap me across the face. He did. And I instantly burst into tears. Swinging/cucking. Trying to give some guy's wife the dipstick while he watches in the corner. Feeding the geese is a lot more stress-inducing than pleasurable. I'd like to thank Urban Dictionary for helping understand 80% of these posts. Having someone grind me. My stick doesn't bend that many angles comfortably. Standing carry type sex. I could do it, and I'm in pretty good shape, but I wouldn't exactly say it was enjoyable for either of us. I still want to try Amazon, but I think I'd rather just have cowgirl. Being tied up. I like it when my partner is tied, but I can be. Just not as much as a turn on as I thought it would be. For some reason a foot job always seemed hot, but in all my experiences none of them were good and the risk of being accidentally kicked in the balls stressed me out. Thought I had a foot fetish until I actually tried playing with my girlfriend's feet. Turns out I just like how pretty feet look from a distance. Ice cream. She got me nice and hard and then laid out scoops of ice cream around my tower of power, but that frozen dessert shrunk my balls. Froze my cock, and then started melting down my ass crack, and pretty soon my ass was sticky. She tried her best to lick everything up, but that didn't make things any better. Worse was that it went on the bedsheets, and we had to clean everything up, which took up all our day. No one got to come that day. Hell, I'm in here looking for new ideas. BDSM type play. I liked the idea of being called names like Sleet, or Witch until my husband called me that, consensually, and I cried. Being slapped and called names and joked. I guess rough sex. I had sex with this one guy who was super into it, and he would choke way too hard and slap me across the face. Kept calling me a ducking witch, and that I was nothing more than a whore and a dirty sleet. He also spat on me during. I realized then I wasn't into it at all, and cut things off. With my current partner though, he likes to choke me, but he doesn't apply pressure, just wraps his hands around my neck and he says things like "you like that, my dirty sleet," and if I'm in the right mood. He only does it if I give the go ahead. I do quite enjoy it. P. Found a dude who was into it, and I spent years fantasizing about it. Spent about a month ducking around with him, and involving P in various ways. Turns out it's just messy. I didn't dislike it, but I have no interest in doing it again. Still watch it in porno. Kinda basic, but the daddy/little girl kink. I love being dominated, but Jesus Christ, it felt so degrading. Not in a good way, and creepy, acting like a ditzy child who needed approval to do everything. Not to insult anybody who's into it, but yeah, realized it wasn't for me after all. Gangbang. Definitely not working out in my favor. Ducking someone who was cheating on her boyfriend. We were FWB before, but then she got a boyfriend. A few weeks later, she still contacted me, going at her place. I thought it was hot, but then all I kept thinking about was him, and how he was probably in love with her, and how crushed his heart would be if he knew. There's nothing sexy or phantasmagorical about that, I thought. I had a panic attack. Left. Cut contact with her. And now I just feel dirty. Every bit deserved though. Edit. I realized it after the deed. I'm not good, but I learned from my mistakes. Pegging and milking. It was fucking exhausting. I felt like, why haven't you come already? I'm bored. After an hour of licking. Positions. Thrusting. Titillizing the taint. Spanking. Fingering. Crisco. Blah. 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 I felt blessed as a woman, and had a new respect for the endurance people had to get me off. But even if you're cool with it during the act, the second you get off you realize you're just covered in piss. And if you're like me, you try it again just to be sure, and want to bang your head into a wall, because you can never be unpissed on. Male female female threesome. Turns out I'm definition not into girls, haha. I don't know if it's a kink. Paresi. Because it's kind of mainstream. But threesomes just aren't as fun as I thought. The pressure to make sure everybody was having a blast kind of ruined it for me. Don't want anybody to feel left out. You know. Outdoor sex. Got a 2-inch splinter of wood shoved right up my ass. Cheek. That is. Blowjob with the little teeth. Lala little noped out of that quickly. Banging a hot juggalette. Rare. Is not worth the sifting you have to go through to get there. Some water sports stuff is cool, but more often just awkward in practice. Attempting to drink urine was a big regret. Being called daddy. First time banging this girl I met at a bar, she goes right into duck me daddy. I always thought it would be hard to hear, but nope. Instant boner kill. My mind immediately went to, oh crap. She might have some serious issues. Turns out I was right too. I thought I would be into joking. I already like to be lightly spanked, and act like bratty sub. I thinks it's funny to be annoying lol. So I just thought it would been a natural step in my kinks. Didn't like it one bit. Nothing bad really happened. No freak accident. Just got turned off real quick. Gonna be a lot of poop in this thread if this post takes off. Having a willing, of course, sex slave. I thought it would be hot as hell to have a naked girl in the apartment following my every command. In the end though, it just felt awful. Instead of suck my ducking stick, which it was suck my stick now. If you want to, please. Ducking a girl in her ass. When I pulled out, she let loose a wave of crap all over her parents' couch. I puked on her. She puked on the couch. It was like we were doing a two-person performance of the aristocrat's smell. God, the smell could have choked a donkey. Easy. Milk/BDSM. Went through a bad breakup. Went to pick myself up via sleeping around. Slept with an recently ex-pregnant girl who was into BDSM. Shit hurt and I was uncomfortable. And don't get me started on the milk. Disgusting. And it got all over. Had a long cry after that one. I still gag when I think about it. I thought I was bi until I sucked stick and now I'm gay. An embody pillow. Doesn't feel real enough. Pegging. Men's buttholes are just so weird looking, and because it wasn't my penis, so I didn't feel anything. Wasn't what I thought it would be. He ended up crapting on my bed. / wouldn't do again. Not sure if this qualifies as a kink. But, like many people, I once thought that bigger was better in the penis department. And then I slept with a few people who had big sticks. 1. Ow. 2. Freaking out. No thanks. Not into it. Now I'm with a guy who fits me perfectly. In a physical sense. Although we are compatible in other ways too. And it's the best sex I've ever had. Not too big. Not too small. Just right. I thought I would like female domination. So my girlfriend tied me up and just started beating the crap out of me. She hit my cock with a whip, and it started bleeding so bad I had to go to the emergency room. You can imagine how awkward that was. Who else here has an incredibly boring sex life, and is just reading the responses for fun? Edit. Thank you for the silver. Kind stranger. A lot of people being educated on enemas. I'm into some really freaky crap. But I always keep in mind that porn is not reality and I only like it when it's drawn or written. Thinking about it actually happening is horrifying. 2 chicks at the same time. It was just ducking awkward. Pun very intended. Facials. I had a facial fetish for a long time. Thought I would like spraying my jisms on a partner's face. In reality, it seemed degrading and a bit sad. Foot fetish. I think some girls have some cute ass feet. But I don't want them dirty things near my stick. Had a few weeks with an info. Yep, not fun. Cream peas. Now I may have an unwanted child on the way. Haha, this made me think of that one post about some dude paying a hooker to crap on him because he thought he was into that. Edit. Thanks for the gold, stranger. Knife play. Not that it's bad, I actually found it fun, but the aftermath was just irritating. You had tiny nicks here and there, and the blood is so hard to clean up. I think I might like light dom stuff, but I haven't ever tried it. A girl called me daddy, but it kinda weirded me out instead of turning me on. Yeah. Anal lead to a lot of unwanted liquid staining the bed and the sheets. So that's not happening anymore. Autoerotic asphyxiation. I'm dead now. Pro tip. The porn you like may not necessarily translate to something you'd like in real life. Edit. Awesome, my top comment ever is about porn lol. Rough sex. Just had a hookup last night with a guy, and am slowly regretting it as the day goes on. Edit. Am agreed too. Gonna add a little bit more info. It was a hookup off Grindr. He sent his pic. I sent mine. Nothing was talked about before more than me being a bottom. I was thinking with a completely different head, and went for it. It was rough directly from the start and I figured I'd be able to do it, since I've always fantasized about it. Fantasies do not equate to the same thing in real life. What? You guys are having sex? Seems like a lot of people didn't prep for anal lol. Edit. Thanks guys. My most upvoted comment is now about anal sex preparation. Actually 3 disappointed people.